welcome back to the third part of the Mern Stack video. Actually, the second part was so long, so I have to start another part, but this one is just going to be very short. This is a preview of what we are doing earlier. So we are done with the local strategy using the PassportJS, and this is documentation for using the local strategy. Right now we have to implement the Facebook passport local, passport Facebook, not actually passport local. Over here, say in order to use the authentication, you must first create your Facebook developer account. Then you create your app, get your app ID, and also your app secret. Now you can head over to developers.facebook. So I already created one. Over here I created one, but if you want to create another one, you can just come over here, type the name, let's say just a name. Then it's going to verify you are a human. Continue. Then just come over to Facebook login, go to the web, set this with localhost, just localhost. But in the case that you're uploading your website, let's say your website will now be live for everyone, you now have to specify the current website URL. But if you're working on your one PC, not on a domain, actually one PC, then you have to use localhost. Or if you also want to do this, that other domains can have access to it, like let's say you are in a local area connection, you want to have access to this Facebook login, then you can specify the IP address that usually start with 192, depends on your depending on your ISP provider. So I have to go back here. Let me show you how we can get the things, the app secret and app ID. Actually, I'm not going to show you the app secret, but here is the app ID. I don't want you to know my app secret. So here is the app ID. I created a .mv file initially over here. I'm not going to open it. You can create one and specify all the details that you want, your Facebook and also your app ID secret over there. Now I'm going to close all this. So the passport local for the Facebook local strategy, I will open my PassportJS file, and under there I'm going to bring in the Facebook strategy. So I have to require the passport Facebook. Then down here, after beneath the local strategy, I'm going to type down my Facebook local strategy. So what I'm actually doing is exactly what you see here. So just to copy this and use it, but I'm not gonna copy that. I already have it done. I'm just going to type it down. I'm going to use the passport, then new Facebook strategy. It's going to accept 4 parameters and give us a callback. We have the client ID. Don't worry, I will show you what I mean by this process.facebook app. And we have one more. We have the client ID. We have the client secret. We also have the callback URL. Lastly, we have the profile fields that we want. So this one is an array. We need the emails, we need the name, we also need the display name. For the callback URL, we have to specify a route. We are going to create this route shortly. /callback. Then over here we have the Facebook secret. Then we have to access our callback, but not actually inside there. So outside here we have to access our callback. Our callback will be giving us the access token, the refresh token. All these are camel keys, the profile and the done. Then after the done is a callback function. We can now have access to the profile, but let me just console.log this. I think I did a mistake somewhere. So mistake corrected. Now I can console.log that again. Let's kind of check this, but before we do that, we have to create the route. I'm going to go into the router file, the index file. Over here for Facebook, I'm going to create a router.get/Facebook. I think I have to split this into two, so I will get the idea of what I'm doing. Facebook. So we have to access the request and the response. We don't actually need the request and the response because it's actually a middleware. All we just need is a permission from the user and also the passport authentication. I'm going to bring in the passport over here. Passport require passport. Bring the passport dot authenticate. Then yes, the passport authenticate. We also have to pass the passport authorize. I think I spelled all this correctly. Then authorize the Facebook, authorize the user through Facebook. Then the scope. While I'm doing this actually is because we need access to the email address. We have email. And for our Facebook, we have to make sure that we also pass the log session handler, so that if you are logged in, you can't have access to this anymore. Now the callback URL, router.get. If you can remember, the callback is set over here. auth/Facebook/callback. Then in the callback, we have passport.authenticate. Same Facebook. We have to give it a success redirect. Dashboard. Failure redirect of login. So if it's successful, it's going to redirect us to the dashboard, but if it's not, it's going to redirect us back to the login so that we can log in again. And we also have to specify one last middleware. It must be only for users that are not logged in, so logged users cannot have access to it. Now let's kind of open our terminal by side with our browser and kind of check what this will do for us. Now if I try to click here, it's not going to work. I'm going to come to register file and I'm going to change this route to Facebook. Minimize again. Now let me refresh and click authenticate on which file? The problem I think is from this place I didn't specify the Facebook authentication. I think that's why I had a problem. Let me kind of save that again. Let's go back and click again. Now let's check our console. Now we can see that let me do this again so that you can understand what I did. It's empty right now. I run the server. Now there is nothing here. You can't see any username here, but when I click on register with Facebook, immediately it's going to console.log the credential that that the user have. So over here I commanded it to print console.log. Now I'm going to remove that. We need to have access to all those data. So the way we can have access to all this data is we have to use the structuring. Over here you can see underscore JSON inside this object, inside the profile object rather. So I just have to equate this to the profile. Then we have to get our hands on the JSON file, then the email. First, this is just like multiple destructuring. I think I have a video about destructuring in case you need some information. Just on my channel you can search for destructuring in JavaScript so that you can learn more of this. And that is it. Then I can now create a new user data containing the email, name. It's going to be the first name plus, I have to space this, and the last name, and lastly the password. I just want to set this a default password. Anything can be the default password. It just depends on what you want to do. Why I did this is because someone can actually register with Facebook, and let's say you are building a big application, you want the user to reset the Facebook the password later, then you can take it over from here and do it however you want to do it. And we need to bring in our model. Okay, it's already there. Now for our model, for our database, actually through the model we have to make sure that the user does not exist. So we have to say the user does find one of the user. We have to sorry, not find and delete, find one. Email, we have to find it through the email. It's going to give us a callback. Now it's going to give us back the user. Then we say if there is any user with the name, return no, return done user, so that the serialized can have access to it. I think the next thing we have to do is to hash the password. Sorry for the noise, I was kind of dressing up myself. Now we can hash the user password. So I have to say const new user. User data.name. I think the user data is actually coming from the top, but not accessible. But let's kind of check. So I did some arrangements and everything seems to be working fine now. The next thing we have to do is to hash the password and then send everything back to the database using the save. Over here we are using our user model. I mistakenly, sorry, I just brought in user. So I'm going to use the bcrypt dot generate sort of 10, giving us an error and a sort. Then it's going to give us a function. Then we can now hash the password, bcrypt hash. We need to hash the new user password. This password is not from Facebook, it's just the password I specified here. Same thing that you can see over here. Now we'll get the result. It's going to give us error and hash. Say if there's any error, throw error. Then we can set the password to the hash. Then we can now save user.save. Then get our hands on the user. It's just like a callback, not actually that we're using it. Then we can flash the user through the request. The success alert, sign in successful. Then we can redirect the user. No, redirect. Dashboard. So if there is an error, we have to catch the error. And lastly, we have to return done. The done, which is actually coming from the top over here. So that is it for the Facebook login. Now let's kind of try and do this once more to see what it's going to give us. Now we are logged in. Actually, it's because the route is not existing. That's why we had this fake route. Now over here, let me go to my router, not this file. The Facebook local. Yes. /users/login. Now let me try it again. As you can see, my Facebook logs in, and that is exactly the way I want it. Now let's log out. The logout route is not linked in our dashboard. I have to open my fields file. We are actually using the wrong listing for the logout. I think it's locked over here. Let's try again and see. Now let's log in. Oh, sorry, not this. For the logout, we should use this logged. Let's try. What's the problem again? Okay, sorry. We're in the login file, not actually the register file. So for the login file, I have to change it to Facebook. Let's log out. It's redirecting back to the login. I don't know why. So I think it's for my route. Logout should have this log. Let's kind of check whether it's going to work. Now let's kind of browse the dashboard. Logout actually not dashboard. So same thing it does. This one brings me in my dashboard, while this one takes me back. And that is it for the Facebook login and logout system. As you can see, it's working perfectly, and there is no obstruction or problem. In our MongoDB, we have the credentials stored. Samuel James. This one from my Facebook. This one I did with my hands. This one I also did with my hands. That is it for the Mern Stack. I will appreciate if you subscribe and also like the video. Thank you for watching, and I will be posting more frequent nice videos.